everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you have to find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world we're in. This is another scene for Darkness in Dublin, the Mage venue. This evening's scene brings us back to where a good chunk of our Mage scenes happen. In the Green Dragon. Only this evening the mood is somber, as there has been some interesting events that occurred in the previous scene. Kieran, stop it. In the previous scene, welcome to the Big Top. Please hush, Kieran. I love you. Sorry about that, guys.
He's like, bitch, I want my hugs.
Pretty much.
That is indeed baby for bitch giving me my hugs.
He's like, why you gotta fuck with me, Shanna? Why you gotta fuck with me?
See, now you guys have ruined my intro. You guys are jerks.
Babby ruined it first. We're just following through.
Yeah. Bobby gave us all this.
Anyway, we are at the Green Dragon, where Cassidy is sitting with her arms crossed, looking rather angry at the moment. Because Paradox Backlash is a bitch. And I will let you guys do your own intros. Because I am not your moms.
But stop telling me to go to bed.
Well, Theodus walks in to the Green Dragon, kind of tapping on his cane. Tap, tap, tap. As he steps. And behind him follows an incredibly friendly sheep.
Here, buddy.
Making generally adorable animal noises, because that seems to be its primary function in existence. And Theodus simply walks up to the bar, just gets himself some fruit juice, some squash, and will take a sit next to Cassidy, regardless of whether she invites him or not.
Cassidy is not going to say a word.
Good day.
She will give him a little wave, but that's about all he's going to get at the moment. She is also sitting on about 5 levels of bashing damage, so she's pretty bruised up.
Oh, yeah, somehow I didn't die from getting 9 paradox.
Isaac, for his part, has already gone ahead and entered the establishment. He is at his most routine place, at the corner of the bar. His most routine implement of distraction, his smartphone. But the one addition to this little scene is behind him, actually in one of the booths, is a bundled up little mage who is bundled up in blankets with patterns of light swords and magical space ninjas, all in robes, and it's all heavily heroic and shit. But for Isaac Fark, he's got his back turned to like that whole scene behind him, just sort of trying to get past the tutorial Candy Crush for the 900th time at this moment.
Georgie's a little bundle of sleeping thing. Mage inside a bundle of blankets. Hi. Snore.
Wait, is Georgie sleeping in a restaurant?
It's a thing now. Apparently.
Oh, is Georgie homeless now? Stop being homeless. Anyway, is everybody introed?
Not yet. There's Jason and I. Wow.
Damien and Jasper both need to intro.
Yeah, I'll say from the outside of the bar, you hear some music. Cause that new person likes music loud. And it will stop after a few seconds. And a new face walks in, kind of looking around. Raises an eyebrow. I've seen more festive-looking places.
It's hardly Christmas, sir.
Still, this is... I mean... I was thinking we are to walk onto somewhere where people weren't making... Well, people don't seem generally healthy here, do they?
I'm quite alright.
I just realized Cassidy has not discovered yet that she can't write things down. This will be interesting.
Anyway, how did Cassidy, Miss Lawson? You look rather battered.
She is going to attempt to write down paradox backlash, and it's just going to come out in like weird scribbles and gibberish. At which point she throws up her hands in frustration.
I don't really know what that was meant to represent. Can you speak?
She tosses like a piece of one of her fries across the room at Isaac to get him to explain what happened.
Hey, boogeyman.
Isaac,
Isaac
damn it!
fails in spectacular fashion.
I think she wants something from you, man. Yeah, he looks at the bundle. And why is this one sleeping?
Who are you?
Oh, Jasper O'Bannon.
I forgot I was muted.
Yeah. He gets a French fry chucked at him after Theodos asks what happened, and she attempted to write it down, and it just did not work.
The fire is going to go ahead and hit good old Isaac about the brow. It's going to go ahead and clink off and like drop to the side. Isaac, for his part, in quite a delayed reaction, goes ahead and bats the air where the fry used to be. He's going to go ahead and like turn his head. You can obviously go ahead and hear the creak in his neck as it goes ahead and bends. It just goes and says flat.
And she points at Theodos.
He goes ahead and waves. Can I do something for you?
What is that, and why is she now illiterate?
This is going to go ahead and point at Cassidy and simply go ahead and say, well, the last coherent thing that she went ahead and talked about was some sort of a transaction between some infernal being and herself. But after that, there was kind of a big explosion, and a lot of people were on the ground bleeding. I would suppose that after such an explosion, physical harm is not the only thing that would have transpired.
Wait, are you saying Cassidy committed an act of infernalism? I really hope not.
I mean, did you enact
She
an
quite
act of
furiously
infernalism?
shakes her head no.
Something tells me she's saying it. Oh, don't know what.
So,
I mean, like,
would you mind elaborating, perhaps?
Okay.
She is going to like tap her forehead and see if she can, convince Isaac to use the fucking mind sphere to, communicate that way.
Okay, Isaac's gonna go ahead and hop off his stool, go ahead and walk between Theodis and Casti, and what he's gonna do is he's just gonna go ahead and blow some willpower and some quint, and go ahead and establish a quick mind link between Thaddeus and Casti, so that they can have a more extended conversation. The roll is incoming. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, you're linked. You're absolutely fucking linked. I got 4 seconds in this fucking thing, so have at it.
Okay, so he can now read her surface thoughts. And
with that, Isaac's just gonna go ahead and walk away, because that thing's gonna last for as long as you need it.
and Cassidy will tell him, what happened.
Okay, what happened?
That in an attempt to save Georgie, she made a deal with Asmodeus, which would have gone fine if other people hadn't interfered, because her story was safe. Her story was with Merlin, and could not be fucked with.
Wait, who's making... Dude, okay, this is the...
He offered
It's-
me to take Georgie's place, and I took it. And that is, what he gets from her surface thoughts.
Okay, why are we making deals with demons?
Because I already lost one friend to that fucker, and I'm not going to lose another one.
Yeah, the last time a demon... Yeah,
And
I
she
know.
would,
That's precisely why we shouldn't be making deals with them. Yes, because that is the direct course. That the fact that a deal was made with Asmodeus at all is what led to that individual's death in the first place.
Are you two talking in your mind? That's just rude.
Shut up.
Isaac goes
By
ahead
the way,
and
the
verbalizes.
reason that I can't talk now is because I got extreme paradox backlash from healing Christina.
Oh, what happened to her?
Well, a really large chandelier exploded. I assume it had some kind of prime energy stored in it, and, well, that didn't end very well for anybody.
Oof, no, that reminds me, I should probably start constructing mind shields.
Shut up.
Would certainly make your lives a whole lot easier. This was... where was this? I don't think I actually asked where this, or when this even happened.
Earlier tonight at the circus.
Oh, bloody hell. That is precisely why I did not go to the circus. Jesus Christ.
Well, I went there with the intent of saving Georgie.
Wait, why was Georgie there?
Because they took her and... all you're getting now from her mind is just frustration and anger.
Wait, so Theodis kind of like places his palm on his forehead. He's just like, what? He just kind of has this like, what the fuck gesture, just like this complete exasperation of just like why. And he just goes, so. Wait, how did Georgie? What? How does she fit into all this?
She is going to, recount the story of the Pied Piper and how Georgie got sucked into the box and all of that, because I'm not going to actually go through it because it's a pain in the ass.
Okay, why? How does she get sucked into a box? Why?
She would recount the whole story, how they saved the Pied Piper, or, well, she wouldn't call it the Pied Piper because she can't, but of how, they saved the specific flutist from Germany.
Yeah, at that point, everyone can see Damien entering the Green Dragon. Damn, finding a parking place in Dublin can be hard. But he's got a fresh pack of cigarettes, and he's already got one lit in his mouth, and he has this very agitated look about him, and his eyes don't seem to be properly focusing, and he's rubbing his temples.
Cassidy and Theodis are currently communicating through a mind link, so...
Yeah, he's just going, to the far end, and he's trying to lean against a tree, and as soon as he's done with the first cigarette, he lights the next one.
I'm just gonna go ahead and call out, those things will kill you.
Damien's hands are literally shaking as he tries to light the next cigarette.
Cassidy's gonna come over and give him a hug.
Oh god, what happened to Damien? Yeah. He says through the mind link.
Damien requites the hug, but there is an expression of shame on his face.
She's gonna shake her head, kind of, telling him in her own way that it's not his fault.
He smiles at that, but finally manages to light the second cigarette and will slowly stand up, go to the group. Still not saying really anything.
I'm just gonna go ahead and walk over to where Damien and Cassidy are sort of perched. Go ahead and slap on the shoulders. Extended mind link! Burning the willpower because I don't want to roll this.
Yeah.
Now the three of Theodis, Cassidy, and Damien are all connected via the mind link.
Wait. How are you guys in my head? Is the thought you guys hear?
Oh, it's an application of the mindset. What happened? Why is everybody so bloody miserable? Apart from Cassidy and Georgia, and basically just you. Cassidy's been filling me in, and Jesus Christ,
I could talk, but you know what? This is probably better. The less people can hear in, the better. Okay.
Cassidy's going to use one simple thought: wild magic.
The thought of wild magic. He says, and simply goes, I lost a hold of myself.
Cassie's
lost
just
control.
Gonna, pat him on the shoulder.
Yeah, thank you. But yes, so so we were at the big top, at the big tent in the circus, and we were trying to get Georgie back, and I fucked up royally.
Cassidy is going to once more shake her head no.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Something in me remembered something, and I just couldn't. It's already bad enough if something I love dearly is robbed from me. I didn't want you two guys to go through it. all the frustration of all these months just broke over me, and I couldn't help myself. I just wanted to see that bloody devil dead.
Cassidy's just gonna gently rub his back.
I think we all want a piece of him. It's quite alright.
I fucked up because the keeper, you will know him as Merlin, had given me a boon, and I was trying to stop Asmodeus getting her under his control. I just lost control at that point. But as trying to get the book, the white book with the stories in them, as we were trying to get that back, I called upon Merlin to try and get it. But of course, it was a bloody trap, and green vines and things attacked him, and he disappeared. Oh my God, what have I done? I fell for his. Damien is trying to think coherently, but flashes of anger, frustration, self-recriminations are making it a bit unclear.
What about this book of stories? What was that about?
It's one of 5 books of stories where the stories of us mages are inside, and
Cassidy would kind of hold up her hand and kind of
Damien shuts up.
show Theodos the memories of, like, Merlin telling them about how Asmodeus intends to use the 5 storybooks kept by the 5 story keepers to access the Book of the World, which he could use to alter anything.
For Christ's sakes, not another... Heaven's sake, okay.
She's also going to show him the memory of them soon to come after him for the map.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry, I don't normally... Not normally this vulgar, but... I can only fucking sigh. And Theodos, for the record, everybody sees him like sigh 3 times. As he says this. Every time I sigh, Theodos sighs. Oh, well, I suppose I should just move back then.
Jasper will move to... Don't go ahead.
Lady D'Onofre and get it moved to a more secure location.
Definitely.
Let's see if we can... Well, if they want the map and Nebberg lies at the end of the map, well then I suppose we'll just have to go and get it ourselves.
Jasper will move to Isaac. By the way, he has a very... Oh no, he wouldn't because his parents are Irish. But yeah, he'll move to Isaac and goes, so, hi, I'm Jasper. What's your name? What are the names? And what the fuck is going on here?
Isaac goes...
Rabena, by the way.
Alright. Isaac gonna go ahead and like look
What
at
is your
him for
fucking
a hot
problem?
second. And just go ahead and very, very mechanically, emotionlessly, go ahead and zip down his, whatchamacallit, gray hoodie. Go ahead and show his name tag, his Smart Mart name tag, which is clearly stated there, Isaac. And he's going to go ahead and point to each of them and saying, they're having a very, very intense mental conference at the moment. I'll let them go ahead and introduce themselves as they will.
Cassidy can't introduce herself, you ass.
To be fair, he heard Cassidy.
Does not change what Isaac says. He goes on to say, I'm one of the disparates.
Right. is every day here so, fucking grim?
For some of us, it is, Isaac says as he continues to fail again the tutorial level with the.
Alright.
New to the city, I suppose.
Yeah. Just came here from a long fucking way away.
Alright. He's gonna go ahead and point to the two other verbena in the room and go ahead and say, they're with you. They're the old faithers.
Right. Once they're done talking, that conversation that I can't hear, I'll go to them. Why is this
Yep.
one sleeping? Seriously.
Looking over to the sleeping bundle, she had a long night.
Alright. And he'll shrug. And he'll go get a drink and wait. He's actively looking at them like he's making clear that he's waiting.
But by the way, all food and drinks in the Green Dragon are free.
Yes. Oh, so you're here, when he knows it's free. This is fucking awesome.
And you
And
can
then
order
he looks
pretty
at
much literally anything. Douglas has pushed the limits of that.
Oh shit, I'm not going to... Wait, anything?
Let's see. What does anyone else remember some of the weird shit that Douglas has ordered in the past?
Elephant, amongst other things. Roasted
Yeah,
eel.
there's like eel, camel, elephant. There has been weird shit ordered. So yeah, you can order pretty much anything.
Okay, so he'll order something.
Cool. Oh yes. You called it wild magic. And
Cassidy just gives
Damien
a
just
nod.
tries to. Basically, Damien closes his eyes, concentrates, and what you see is the whole scene from Damien's eyes, and then just like a red vision, sort of going over his eyes. Then you also happen to see what seems to be a female figure, clad in deer skins, and obviously some sort of shaman beside him, shouting something at him, but he's just looking at the big chandelier thing, and you can sense all the anger, all the frustration, and this isn't just from the day. This has been building up for months. And see as the main crystal cracks, and then the bright light, and him being whisked away by, is that a vampire? Huh. And he stops at that point.
He knows Ryan.
Okay, it is actually Ryan Flomo.
Yeah, Theodis knows Ryan.
I remember that. Yeah,
Saved
Theodis
it.
wishes to exchange notes.
And
Okay.
then he adds, that's what's happened. I'll have to make it right somehow.
I'm sure you will.
At this point, the bundle of blankets will move, and there's a.
Oh,
As,
it's
Georgie
the
wakes up.
mid-afternoon. By the way, don't you have a house to go home to? Sorry. Georgie. You there?
Yes? Yeah.
Why are you sleeping in a restaurant?
She sits up, looks around.
You person
I
waves at her.
don't know.
She isn't homeless, right? He just kind of talks back to Cassidy and then Damien.
Cassidy shakes her head no.
Not that I know of.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that was just a slight concern of mine that somehow Georgie was homeless now. That would have been concerning.
Wait, where's the circus?
Did they mention? Does Georgie have her memories of the
Find out.
circus? Oh god, that would require messaging Evan. Do not want.
No. I mean, I know. You can find out.
What about the circus?
Where is it? What happened?
I
Wait,
don't know. You
how did
tell
I
me.
get here?
I don't know.
think
What
just
do you
goes ahead
last...
and pipes up. I got your back.
Yeah, Cassidy's going to go over and hug Georgie.
Yeah, Damien will be piling in there. A very strong bear hug.
She tries to back out of it, but being in a boot,
Yeah,
Okay.
she's
Blanky's
being
at you.
hugged from two sides.
So,
Oh, so glad to have you back. That was terrible.
Okay. I actually can't breathe. Guys, really.
Cassidy will let go.
Georgie, what do you last remember?
Damien eases his hug.
I was standing in the ring, and the ringleader was next to me,
Okay.
and we just tried to dive out of the way of a chandelier coming down. Ow!
Oh,
fuck, that
yes.
hurts.
No, I remember. No, that almost killed Christina from what Cassidy told me.
Ow! As Georgie, will kind of, pull the blankets away, and she is also hurt. I just don't know how much she was hurt anymore. Just know that she got hurt.
Oh, gods! Let me tend to that. I can heal. I can heal you.
Don't.
Cassidy could probably use that as well.
Cassidy's is just bashing. She's fine. Georgie's is ag.
Yeah, Damien just looks at the two, see who is more hurt, and starts healing Georgie. Definitely spending a willpower on that one.
Thank you, Damien. So, yeah, the chandelier just come down, and I was standing, like I said, next to the ringleader, and then then I woke up here.
Okay. That more or less lines up. I'm sure the rest of the group can fill in the gaps I've been getting caught up myself. Sounds like quite the Royal Rumble.
Wait, where's Hey.
Hi, hello. I'm Jasper O'Bannon. Verbena. Whatever is going on here, could you take it from the very fucking beginning? I have no idea what's going on.
Hi, Jasper. I'm Damien, freshly inducted Verbena. Where shall we start?
Cassidy's probably going to do the mind link with Damien and be like, start with Darcy, because that's where all this started.
Okay. So a good while back, there was this mage called Darcy. She had pissed off Storykeeper, I think the name is, a high spirit who keeps one of the 5 books where the stories of us mages are put in and narrated and should be kept safe. But
particularly Anansi is the one who takes care of the mages because they're heroes.
So she pissed off Anansi, who apparently is responsible for us.
Hello?
As far as that's concerned. And Anansi was so angry, if I remember correctly, that she chucked the book away. something in that direction. For whatever reason, it ended up in the hands of the devil Asmodeus, who started really royally fucking around with her. It was nasty. Yeah, I even was part when he was doing some nasty stuff to her and then disappeared. Apparently, Asmodeus has also acquired the powers of Anansi and has been trying to get mages under his control. If I remember correctly, he said something of wanting to yeah, exactly, to get his hands on more of the books, because with the if he's able to get the 5 storybooks, he can get like the really big book that is the world story, and then he would basically become a god. Well, actually,
Yeah.
like the god, and of course that's
wait.
terrible.
Damien, he actually told me that. I spoke with him
Oh shit!
when I was in the circus. When I was Nightingale, he was there. He changed me into Nightingale.
Wait,
Yes,
what?
yes.
You're a what? Nightingale? What? You're
Not into the bird itself, but into some I don't know, some sort of acrobat with a bow and a red costume, and it actually reminded me a bit of comic book superheroes. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, back to topic. So, as we were finding that out, we came across a flutist who is a manifestation of a very famous children's tale from Germany around 1500, the city of Hamelin. And it also involves rats. But we...
Can nobody say it?
God damn it.
Obviously, can nobody said Pied Piper? Could Jasper be able to
No.
still say
Can't.
No,
No,
you
no one
can't
can
say
say
Physically
it
unable. But
because
yes,
the stories are being altered.
yes, exactly. Their stories are being altered by Asmodeus. And anyway, this Piper was trying to abduct 3 youths, and we confronted him, and we were able to basically rip him away from the fetters that were holding him. But as that happened, Georgie was sucked in or mind controlled in, or I don't know exactly what happened. I just remember her doing a somersault and closing the lid and disappearing. So of course we were doing a bit of a stakeout, found her in an altered state. Oh, that was so creepy. Anyway, and after that, Cassidy and I had a meeting with, you would know him as Merlin, but he prefers to be, sorry guys.
I actually didn't get. I don't know. I didn't jump into the box. That is, I was just sort of drawn into it.
Yeah, so, as I said, I didn't know what exactly happened. Yeah. Okay, so correction, was drawn into it. Anyway, Cassidy and I also got to have a chat with Merlin, and he was looking at the situation with books and explained to us what was going on and why it's so bad. That he has at least one of the books already under his control and is trying to get more of them. And I think that might have been the first place where, at the very least, I goofed up. I remember looking into the pool and there being some sort of connection trying to connect itself. Maybe that allowed Asmodeus to have a peek in and know about what transpired afterwards. Oh, gods, I hate devils. Oh.
I mean,
And Damien
who
puts a
really likes
cigarette
them?
in and lights another one and sucks very, very profusely at it.
Yeah, Cassie's gonna kind of back away when he does that and move to a
Georgie
different
will
area.
ask for a cigarette.
To be fair, I don't think devils are supposed to be likable.
Damien gives Georgie a cigarette and lights it. But yeah, so after that we went to the circus. There was an altercation, and at the very least we managed to get Georgie back. But I lost my shit, and there was an explosion. And
Where's the book?
the problem was that I called upon a favor from Merlin. I worded it that I wanted him to grab the book, which we thought was chained to Asmodeus' side, but that was a trap. He had set a trap for Merlin, and after the trap sprung on Merlin, he disappeared, and then the actual book manifested, and
Cassie's
Damien
going
takes
to,
breath.
briefly correct him and say that
Ah,
the
wait.
passage that he had opened to Kalhaya simply closed.
Okay, the passage to Kalhaya, Merlin's shard realm, if I remember correctly, closed. Okay, at least that. And yeah, once that happened, I lost my shit and I exploded the big chandelier that was collecting prime energy off people without them really knowing what was happening. And I partially destroyed it, and there was a big explosion, and that's why. And he just points to as he's healing with one finger, he's also pointing to Cassidy, and saying, "People got hurt because I lost my cool. I'm so sorry."
I mean, that happens. I think Asmodeus still has the book, but the strange thing is, though, if what you say is real and he has a book that has all of us in it, then he can't
Um,
just simply use it.
the
Because,
thing is, yeah. So sorry to interrupt you. The thing is, Merlin plucked Cassidy's page and my page out of the book.
yeah, but that still leaves a lot of mages in the world
Yeah,
who would be in that book. And
yeah,
he
yeah,
didn't
yeah. You're
touch
right.
them yet. He touched me because I was there, and actually I do need to check with Evan if I still have that
Wait, so
sign on my hand
is
because
it being stated that right now a significant amount of mages in the world are now effectively under the thrall of Asmodeus because of this book?
I don't think
Uh,
that is the case. I think their stories are maybe in his hands, but I don't think he can use them because he seemed to be rather excited that I was at the circus, and I
may,
think the only
I
maybe
know.
he needs
I know how this
affinity.
works. I know.
Oh,
Okay, consider this. You're the writer of a novel, yeah? And you gotta go ahead and write this novel with a bunch of fictional characters with a fictional world, but you gotta go ahead and make it make sense. It has to have some kind of consistency, right? So for the vast majority of all these particular scenes, all these characters, all these chapters, they are like one to one. They travel in a very very linear line. However, if you want to go ahead and significantly change one character, one particular part of your narrative, it involves you treading over that character's interactions with the rest of the story and altering it as such. I suppose it would be easier to go ahead and rearrange one story if the subject of which was right in front of you. Like you have every single entry of character Barker in front of you. You do a quick Control F, you change all those entries, and it's fine. But you couldn't do that on a grander scale, and you certainly couldn't do that if you didn't have the right context. Specifically, points at Thaddeus. If you and Asmodeus was in a room, he could change you. However, if I'm on the other side of the planet and he doesn't know about me, has no connection to me, no correspondence to me, he's shit out of luck.
Good to know he's not gonna get it. Good to know he's not gonna touch me.
He might
I
touch
would,
you
I would
anyways in
like
bad
to.
places.
I would like to speak with Merlin about this, or at least have some sort of confirmation as to who here is in that book and who isn't.
Cassidy is going to tap him on the shoulder and, continue the mental link. We don't know how compromised Merlin is now.
Yeah. As far as I know, from all that I know, at the very least, I still have my page. Thanks the gods, I decided to do that. Oh, I've still got mine, so even if I'm right in front of him, he can't mess with me in that way. He can still chuck a fireball probably at me, or worse.
How did I get back?
Carry you.
No. Haha, great.
Oh, Cassidy's taking your place, I think.
What?
I would have had the same response, but at this point, there's so much fuckery going on. I don't actually care.
Are
Cassidy's
you
going to
actually
poke.
insane?
Cassidy's going to poke Damien through the mental link, and have him tell Georgie about what the ringleader did.
Yeah. So what happened was that the ringleader, who was not a mage, but something similar from a land that starts with O and ends with Z, he remembered who he was for a bit, and he took green ring. By the way, you have it on your hand. Put it against your forehead and said that it would allow you to remember who you are, and but he would lose the memories of who he really was and ask to save him later date as soon as possible, which I'm darn well planning to do. That's how we got you back.
Georgie's gonna look at the ring. Oh. Well, fuck me. Why would he do that?
Oh.
Your family, Isaac says rather blankly.
Why the hell do you think we would save you? We care about you.
No. He goes ahead and shakes his head. No. You, funny Damon, shut up. Looking to Georgie, he goes ahead and says, while you ran away to the circus, you got a new family. It's just as legitimate as whatever family you had before or whatever family you're trying to foster here. But it was such a strong connection that the ringleader, name of Oz, could and wanted to give you the sort of clarity that he got at that very moment. And he begged to be let go of the circus. And he knew that you'd go back. He knew that you'd go back and try to help him. Now, whether that's true or not, I guess that's up to you.
Of course I'm gonna help him. Oh, I really need to drink right now. Oh, fuck.
Goes,
I can't.
I'm half tempted to just ask D'Onofrio to wipe this entire circus off the map.
No! Don't do that!
But why not? It seems to be nothing but a clusterfuck of problems that no one
There
here
are
seems able to
people in
competently
there.
deal with.
There are stories in there that are just as much victims as Georgie was. Sentient stories.
It's not just stories. Isaac is right. They are my family.
No, from what I hear, the concept of what you were was changed, and they weren't your family before, then they became your family, now they aren't again. But even if...
No, they still are. I can remember this. This is
Stagging daggers at Theodos right now, just staring daggers.
I am just as much Georgie as I am Nightingale. That is the thing. I remember everything I did there. And I'm not happy
That
that
feels
I...
very much like Stockholm syndrome. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, shut up.
Kinda right.
I'm not happy that I
Cassidy's going
forgot
to
about
roll
you
her
guys,
eyes when Theodos says that.
but they are as much a part of my family. They are not the ones who did this to me. They are just as much trapped as I was.
Well,
I don't
I'm
hold
not
any
saying it
love
as a
for
first option.
Asmodeus, don't get me wrong. I will destroy
Well,
that fucker.
well, I mean, that's my main point of concern. I really wouldn't give a damn about any of this if he weren't involved in what didn't happen. But that's where we're at right now. And if it becomes necessary, then I will
No, you will
start
not.
leveraging my connections. If I have to, I mean, I'm not. If I have to choose the world over a bunch of stories, I'm going to choose the world. That just seems
If I have to choose
practical.
between you and a group of innocent people who are trapped, then that's not a hard choice to make either.
Well, no. That's not really my point. I would.
No, but that's the point
if
I'm
you're
making, right here and right now.
If you're being altruistic, well, yes, you don't like me. That's fine. You can go be altruistic. That's. I would expect you, if you were operating under conventional human ethics, to go help the innocent people and not me. Particularly since I'm a single person and have magic anyway. But
Look, Theodos, it's really simple. We have to find a way to save these people, and we have to find a way to strike back at Asmodeus. Those are not one and the same thing.
Yeah, I remember when I tried to take the third option, it got a bunch of people killed and forced a pacifist to commit murder, so I'm not really fond of those anymore, but... Yeah.
Damien just lights the sixth cigarette at this point.
Well, that sounds like a personal failing, Isaac goes ahead and says.
Well, yes, and I'd rather people not repeat the same personal failings. It's almost
But
like
we just have to make sure that we get all the facts straight, because I'm sure that we all saw certain things. If we connect the dots, we find a path, and we can take it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I have absolutely no fucking clue what actually happened, because I got 5 different stories, and, well, they don't make a whole lot of sense, to be completely honest.
Cassidy's just going to use the mind link to let him see the events as they happened from her eyes.
Okay, well, I don't have the scene up right now.
No, the scene doesn't have any sound, so you can't actually replay it.
So you can't watch it anyway.
Which is an extra layer of just like the fuck.
I will take you. I will take you through it after this scene, like exactly what happened.
So, long story short, do we just need to get the fucking books?
Yes.
Cassidy
okay,
nods.
well, okay. Why did nobody say that? Why couldn't we have just said that?
To be fair, I think we really would need, and this is going to sound a bit strange, I would prefer all books to be safe, but we really only need one. Because ultimately, he will need all 5 of them.
Damien,
this
at
reminds
this point,
me of the scenario. Go ahead.
Cassidy's going to, show him exactly what is going on with that 5th book, the one that was hidden away in
Can
Besmara.
you give me like a quick rundown, like add a character or something?
Okay, so this 5th book was kept by a 5th story keeper who went mad and has been sealed in his own book by
I know this guy.
by Wilhelm Grimm. But now Wilhelm Grimm is also stuck in the book with him. This is the book that is stored in Besmara as a way to protect it. Because
well,
it didn't technically have a story keeper anymore.
I suppose I could destroy the map I won, although, granted, we're dealing with immortal beings that can just wait until they just brute force away to Beshmar or just do their own shit, so I guess not. Guess that's really out of the table for the long term.
Cassidy would, use the mental link. We need to get to that book first and protect it.
Well, I would just say claim it and seal it in a chantry somewhere, or maybe just open it or something. Didn't really know. Just intend to go get it. But, yeah, so we just need to get all the books. Well, I will work on that.
So, who knows most about
Straight
demons
upstairs.
and devils and whatnot?
I'll do some reading.
So, you're going to save us all.
I was gonna say, who has the highest occult knowledge?
Well, Fearless is occult 5 and Esoterica 5.
Well, there you go. Cassidy's at 3 in each, so.
Well, I mean, you could simply, if we knew Asmodeus' true name, we could simply annihilate him. Or rather, no, that's not really a correct word. We could simply unmake him. And you can actually do this with all spirits, but demons in particular are vulnerable. It's why they hide behind a lot of things. It's why the Order of Hermes have a lot of names. Their names are very symbolic. Obviously, everybody knows names of power, but
So, how do we find his true name?
Yeah,
that's the problem. It's finding the true name of something so old is often extremely difficult. We actually have quite a few tools to do it, given that we have power over the mind, time, matter, etc. But that's going to take a lot of effort and probably a lot of risk. No doubt that Asmodeus has sealed any trails to his true name behind innumerable challenges, trials, dangers, and traps.
And here I thought it was going to be a walk around the park.
I mean, I would like that too, but I mean, it seems I can't even have that nowadays, so. But yes, that's an alternate option. Could also find true names of everything else, stories and the like. They might be a bit easier, actually, considering they are more recent, relatively speaking.
Cassidy's going to, poke Theodos in the mind link and be like, what about Gabriel?
Gabriel?
Could she
What about
potentially know
Gabriel? Yes, but I believe angels work under a very specific set of rules.
Yeah, and that's Damien in the mind link. Also going, but could it be argued that Asmodeus has been breaking any of his rules? How should I say, the concept of what was that, lawful evil? Having to follow certain rules.
I don't believe demons really follow rules. I'd be surprised
But
if they do.
is he a demon or a devil? I thought there is a big difference between them.
In what way? What do you mean by devil? Largely synonymous with demon, unless there's some context I am not being told.
I always thought that demons were more chaotic beings that don't really keep to rules and brute force their way through things, while devils work through contrast, through certain rules that are imposed upon them from a higher power.
All spirits work through contracts to some extent or another.
Then I must be misinformed. Sorry about that.
Well, I may look into it. God, I'm going to have to do a lot of reading. I'm really setting myself up for failure here, but
Yeah, you do. But that's fine. We all fail in the end.
I mean,
Not wrong.
I don't really care. I'll keep failing, and then I'll just say fuck it and move a mountain. So,
and then for everyone to hear. Is it even possible for us to physically harm him, at least his corporeal form? Because what I saw there, and he taps into the mental link again, and you see Asmodeus in his devil form with a feeling of heat and like almost earth-like energy pulsating, as if Damien was standing close to some magma.
Oh, well, if he's utilizing... If his form is elemental in nature, I can do tremendous damage to him. But I don't think it would destroy him. Spirits tend to reform and remanifest elsewhere when their corporeal form is destroyed.
Oh,
To permanently kill a spirit is actually quite difficult.
Okay.
It requires some workarounds. I mean, there are ways. It's just obviously. I mean, well, I would have some difficulty because while I can do tremendous damage to something's corporeal form, or if I'm on the other side of the gauntlet, I could destroy their spiritual form or their manifested spiritual form. They would still reform elsewhere, to my knowledge.
I mean, even if that may not permanently destroy him, even if we deal him a blow, we still have a chance of,
It'd certainly delay him.
Yeah, or get the book back.
It could also send him, could also send him back to wherever he came from, which I'm sure he would rather not go back to. But,
So, anyone happen to know a
yes.
friendly demon that owes a favor to someone? I don't know.
That actually may be something I attempt to track if I ever run into him. I could attempt to find whoever is bound to him for entropic magic.
And then what? Free
Deal
them?
with them. Unbinding a demonic pact is complicated even by our standards. Usually, and he air quotes, freeing someone from a pact is to, just kill them. Not that I'm advocating, but that is generally what happens.
Yes. You know my usual, right?
Of course, you could attempt to undo the oath,
Cuban,
or
pickles,
attempt to
mustard.
work around it by having it fulfilled in some sort of roundabout fashion, but again, these are tricky things, and you're talking about Asmodeus, who's sort of the personification of evil subcontractor. He's literally the rules lawyer of hell, so good luck.
Oh god, I always hated rules lawyers. But yeah, actually, that's a very... You first.
I was just going to say, really, the best way to prevent Asmodeus from gaining any more ground is just refuse to even talk with him on any level. Words don't have any meaning if you don't give them any. If you just don't give a fuck or don't listen to what he has to say, then it won't matter.
That's a little bit difficult when he's rewriting your story.
How's he able to do that, though?
I don't know, but he did that with me.
Yes, because he shouldn't have been able to do that with you. Otherwise, why wouldn't he have just done that with Darcy or any one of us beforehand? Like, something's changed. Clearly.
Yeah.
Then we have a clue there.
Come to think of it, Merlin did mention that he needed a mage's soul as a light to guide him through the darkness. Cryptic as ever.
Yes, but he doesn't have one of those yet. To our knowledge, maybe if we can track if we can find out who his thralls are, then maybe we can see if any of them are mages.
Well, he had one for a bit.
Well, Yes, but no, that doesn't explain how he was able to rewrite you as a concept. That is something only a master mage can do.
That is something
It is
that
very,
a
very
storykeeper
possible
can do.
that. I apologize.
Please go ahead.
All right. Isaac goes ahead and pipes up, saying, "You know, there's always the theory of the all soul or the at soul, the soul that encompasses all others."
Yeah, I think I've heard about that one. And isn't that the theory that sentient beings like us are like tiny droplets of that? Just halfway separated.
Isn't this something the choristers are engaged with?
Choristers would definitely eat that up and try to dissect that as they are wont to do.
Mm,
So maybe hermetics are not the way to go with this. Sorry, I don't want to go ahead and indulge you over the head. You're obviously a master in your own right in these type of occult nonsense. I say nonsense, but it's actually very fucking important. Perhaps you need to
it's
go
fine.
to a chorister. Perhaps you need to go to a priest.
Oh god. Well, I suppose literally, oh god. I did meet him once. He wasn't very pleasant. I really just need to talk to a lot of different people about this. It seems what I want to know is how he was able to perform an act which should reasonably be impossible if you're not bound to him. That is something I need answered because I need to know. I feel like it would not really. More like we should really know what we're dealing with, and I feel like we very
Actually,
much don't right now. Oh,
maybe there's one thing, because I remember when I was pulled into that box that I felt not, I wasn't wounded or anything, but I just felt like I didn't really want to move anymore. I just kind of lost the will to really do anything at that point. Like, I remember we tried to pull away this flutist, whatever he was, and kind of felt drained after that. And that's when I kind of got drawn into that box. Like, something was urging me to go there, and I appeared at the circus again, but I still felt so. I think drained is really the only word I can use for it. Maybe he just needs to have us mentally drained before he can get to us.
Isaac goes ahead and scratches his chin. You mean pull a paranormal activity?
that still
We
doesn't
can
make sense to me.
host with just constant nonsense, a haunting night after night after night of no sleep, of no just ability to recover, and eventually on that last night, Michael's getting a little bit anxious about his girlfriend's just dead state. Something like that.
I suppose. Except that it just happened real fast.
I still don't see how he could rewrite you just because
No,
you're
but
mentally.
if at that point he did sort of, there was a symbol on my hand, and out of character, I don't know if it's still there. I need to ask Evan. I presume it's not.
We can say that your hand is so mangled at the moment that it's completely wrapped up, and whatever is there is indistinguishable. Because ag.
Mm-hmm. So there was a symbol on my hand. Sort of, I've seen it before, but it was the symbol of the circus actually.
Yeah,
Maybe
that spidery one. I wouldn't be surprised if he stole that from Anansi.
But maybe that is how he sort of exerts his will over you.
A
I mean,
combination of
that
tapping
helps. That's
into the symbols of everything, of the keeper of everybody's stories, of the stories of heroes and villains, subverting and using those marks to directly mark one of those particular individuals as his own.
I'm sorry, but that actually begs the question: what the fuck are the upper echelons of the Umbra doing here? This is a demon that is clearly usurping their role. That is engaged. That is utilizing, at least from what now has just been said, their abilities, their symbols, to some extent, seemingly their powers.
Yes.
And from what we can tell, they are doing nothing.
By the way, Georgie, did you see Asmodeus use any spiders or spider-like magic? Because that would be a hint if he had. I'm sorry for the term. If he had consumed the powers and gained them.
I've not seen him use such things.
Out of character,
No.
Chris, when you encountered Anansi in the scene where you went to meet with Katya, didn't Anansi say that she was on the run?
Yeah.
Would it be safe to assume that, Asmodeus was what she was running from?
Potentially, but even then, why is Heaven not reacting to this?
You want to poke Kevin?
Because it's Joe.
This would indicate a fundamental breakdown in the celestial bureaucracy. I mean, not that that would surprise me, to be honest. Frankly, I considered all of them to be woefully incompetent, but
I've got the feeling that's
ultimately,
after all, the author of the book, what was that, 999 plus 2 nights of a certain peninsula east of Israel. Well, we were checking up the books that were going white, and we had the vision of her being, sort of at least impaled at the limbs and begging us for help. I know her name, but like with the mage of a land that starts with O and ends with Z. Yes, I have to work around it because I can't say his name either.
The wizard at the end of the yellow brick road.
Yes, exactly, that one. But there seems to be general fuckery happening with them. So yeah, I fear the bureaucracy has broken down in some form or shape.
well, I was going to say that is terrible, but really it is, in my opinion, inevitable and probably for the best. So I suppose it comes down to us, again, to clean up the messes of, the other morons who don't seem to really have any real fondness for reality in general, which, while I can sympathize with, I do like existing. So, right, okay, I'm going to talk with some other mages and do some reading, and then I'm going to deal with this whole mess and move the map that I have to a much more secure location away from, all of you and myself, so it can be secure until we need it. It was nice meeting you, Jasper. I apologize for having to shut up. This was an incredibly stressful meeting, and one that has thoroughly mentally exhausted me. I'm going to go. I think. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry again for the rudeness, but well, I feel like I'm lying somewhat. This is really just me. But I do have a cute sheep, which really just makes up for everything, doesn't it?
Is that a fucking willy?
Cassidy's
I
going
don't know
to
what that
lean
is.
down and pet the sheep.
That's what I
His
thought.
it's
Ridiculously
sideways
adorable.
slanted eyelids. Excuse me, pupils. They call to me strangely.
Yeah. Jasper will bend down and also pat it. Pat.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
it does adore your quintessence.
Quite true. Quite true. Anyway,
Cassidy
Georgie.
has no quint left at the moment.
Anyway,
I spent all the XP on it, so Jasper has a lot of quintessence.
Alright, I'm going to. Oh, one moment. He begins murmuring incoherently to the Wooloo. The out of character. He's apologizing to the Wooloo for being so vulgar. It's not like him. And then he pats the Wooloo. Well, I'm going to go with my little fluffy friend, who will no doubt be the most productive out of all of us here, won't you? Yes, that's what I thought. I suppose I shall see you all later, and I should really get a ride back to my house before angry story people surround it.
You do that.
Yeah,
safe travels.
Oh, don't
Cassidy,
jinx me, would you?
despite, their differences, she is going to give him a hug.
This is kind of just, it's very half-hearted and kind of obligatory. Yeah. Well, I'll be seeing you later, Georgie. Oh wait, Georgie, do you still have problems with alcohol, or is that resolved?
She's just gonna give him a look. Like, really?
No, that's a shame.
Yeah, I just looked in her eyes. Yep, that's a no.
Keep her off. Keep her off.
Bye, Theodos. Nice meeting you again.
It was
Go
nice
be our big
meeting.
hero. Bye.
I am not a big hero. I don't really believe in them. Well, that's not true. I suppose we were heroes during the whole Aisha thing. Well, now I feel inclined to stay. Don't make me stay. I should really go and, do the responsible thing. Don't make me be irresponsible, Georgie.
Irresponsible.
It just sort of gets in like the middle of all it and goes, right, right, Mr. Hermetic, was lovely having you, but he starts pushing you very gently towards the edge. But you have places to be, things to do, so have we.
Ow,
So,
careful with the cripple.
if to be fair, if he's not moving, Damien will try to pick him up and carry him.
Oh, he went out himself. He will move. You try and pick him up, he's gonna get mad, and you don't want to see him mad.
Then get moving, man. Your own words.
No. No, now I need to torment the Georgie.
No, you can torment her another time.
Oh dear.
He will just leave.
I mean, feel free to, torment the Georgie.
I
Feel
think. Oh no,
free to do so. I have no problem hitting a cripple.
I still think she can't drink anyway, so it's fine.
It's a year and a day before she'll be allowed to drink again.
Yeah. So
this is great.
Bye.
Everything is fine. Bye. And she
Bye.
She goes, nice seeing you all again. And as the sheep just kind of bobbles its head as if to wave.
See ya. So, I'll turn to Damon. So you and Chatty Cathy there, as he points to Cassidy, are
Cassidy's going to flip him the bird.
Oh, hello.
You were saying, Jasper?
Yeah, you both apparently are Verbeners.
Only since like 24 hours. Cassidy, however, for a way longer time. Yeah. By the way, and he offers him his hand. Damian Wolf. Sorry, I was a bit distraught before. I've been able to get my shit together now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you go talk your verbena thing. I'm gonna have to head out as well.
By the way, Georgie, could you do me a favor and dispose of these? And he hands you the rest of the cigarette packets. I think if I have another one, I'm gonna puke.
Yeah, you've had like 6, 7
Yeah.
cocaine.
Yeah, the
Wait.
nicotine, good nerve poison, calms the nerves. But I don't want to start with it again. But I don't want to become a regular again. It was hard enough stopping. Yeah, and he just sort of gives the packet and the lighter to Georgie.
I mean, if
She'll
she's
light
still
one up
smoking,
immediately, and it's like, if you really don't want to do it, any cigarette that you want to donate is happily
He gives
received
you
by
the
the
rest of
poor.
the packet.
I mean,
Yep, she's gonna
from what I
pocket
could,
it, and it's like, okay, guys, I'll talk to you later, Isaac. I think we have stuff to discuss at some point.
Isaac will go ahead and nod. We'll check back later.
Yo, see you guys. Bye, Cassidy. Good luck with your voice problem.
Cassidy just nods.
And yeah, she will leave as well because player has to go to bed.
Night night,
all right.
Saskia.
Isaac's going to go ahead and turn to the group that is still present. Go ahead and hold his hand up to his head in a very phone-like gesture and just go ahead and say, "You done with the conference call? Can I disconnect you?"
Cassidy nods, especially since Theodis is already gone, and he was one of the ones in the
Should be
mind
okay.
link.
I'm not as good as you, Isaac, but at least if something's up, I can read Cassidy's surface thoughts as long as she doesn't throw a barrier up. I recently learned that trick.
All right, Isaac is just going to go ahead and crumple his hand from a phone into a just a fist. And just go ahead and dissipate it with a little bit of a jazz hand up to the sky. And you feel that mental backdoor in the back of your skull just go ahead and fizzle away. Or in some cases, get violently ripped out as if some intruder, some parasitic influence is escaping onto ether. Whichever one you want to go ahead and experience.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I'm disconnected. Thank you, Isaac.
So you're new.
Very new.
To be fair, officially I'm new too. I've just been brought up into it.
Well, I guess basic introductions would be in order.
Jasper O'Brien.
Fair enough. So, as I already told you, my name is Damian Wolf. As you can tell from the name, I'm not originally from here. I've only been awakened since, pretty much 12 months now. And only about 24 hours before, before a disparate, an orphan, I think is the term. And only about 24 hours ago, I've been, for the lack of a better word, adopted by Cassidy Lawson.
Nods.
Pointing to her, and Christina Spanos, also of the verbena. So, and after that happened, the whole tohuvabohu with the circus happened, and we've literally just come back from it. So that's why you caught us in the middle of of all this chaos.
Right. So yeah, whole demon here to take over the world or destroy it.
or rewrite it in a fashion that we won't like. One way or the other. It would be bad news.
I mean, that kind of counts as, taking of the world.
Yes. I take it you weren't in town when we were fighting Lord Aisha, who was definitely trying to end the world.
I just got here, and I'm just, well, kind of jet lagged.
Clear no in that case. We can tell you about that at another time. But you mentioned something being brought. Okay, anyway, please introduce yourself.
So, yeah, I've been brought up into the whole Verbena Cup. Like,
So, were your parents Verbena, or?
yeah, both of them.
Hmm.
Long line, to be fair, we're, well, part of, well, at least my family goddess of the tree.
Yeah, the gardeners. I think I heard mention of your subsection at some point.
My family a long time, well, a few families a long time ago, trying to escape witch hunters, moved to a land a long fucking way called New Caledonia.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
years went past, and families had families, and, well, me and a few friends, well, ended up with me and a few other people being the youngest, well, at least for now, that were back there before I decided to come here.
What you got there?
Impressive from a long line. As far as I know, for all I know, I might even be the very first mage in my family line. It's difficult to say, but yeah. Well, was just a good old fashioned, rando normie, and until about a year ago. Yeah, weird. And of course, everyone has got more knowledge on me than I have. But oh well, I'll survive. I've survived so far, mostly intact.
And I'm assuming she can't talk because of the whole thing that happened with the chandelier.
Okay, so in my when I unleashed wild magic in my fit of, I didn't even know that I could hate something so badly. Anyway, yes, when in my rage fit, I cracked the main crystal in the chandelier. Ridiculous amounts of prime were released. She got hurt. Christina got hurt. A few other people's as well.
I dodged ground zero.
Out of character,
Yeah.
Cassidy did not get hurt. She didn't get caught in that.
Okay.
The backlash was from healing Christina.
Yeah. Let me correct myself. No, Cassidy didn't, but it definitely got Christina. I got whisked away by a vampire, so that's why I'm pretty much unscathed. Long story. But I saw her healing Christina, and my guess would be that she probably has been suffering a paradox backlash, although way more severe than I've ever experienced.
Oh, this can be a bitch, apparently.
It only happened to me once, and I was very lucky that it was only a nosebleed. So, yeah. This is definitely worse. Way worse. And at that point, Damien actually turns to Cassidy, putting his hands on her shoulders and just really, I'm really sorry. I'll really try to do better in the future.
She holds her finger up to stop him from talking.
And she shuts up.
And shakes her head. Like, stop blaming yourself.
And he gives her a hug. It is more like he needs some comforting.
I was just gonna go ahead and walk around Cassidy, try to go ahead and catch good old Damien's eyes for a hot second. As soon as the lovely, reassuring embrace is ended, Isaac will not go ahead and destroy you completely and utterly with his cutting wit. He'll just go ahead and say, you know, out of all of us that were there, you were pretty damn well equipped to go ahead and juggle the cosmic forces that were around. I'm not saying that anybody else there wasn't also capable of doing so, but I didn't go ahead and feel like things were completely out of control with you at the helm.
Damien is genuinely taken aback by that comment. Thank you.
He goes ahead and shrugs, goes back to his Candy Crush. He passes the tutorial with a ding. Oh, nice.
Hey, you did it.
And Damien sits beside Cassidy and looks again at Jasper.
Cassidy is going to return to eating her veggie burger and her fries, which are by now cold.
At that point, it reminds. Sorry.
By the way,
Damien just grabs a bit of bread and a bit of beer and is dunking the bread in the beer
I couldn't
and
hear a
then
word you said.
eating
I
the
had my
bread.
headphones fully on.
By the way, what Jasper is eating looks something like that, except in obviously way smaller. But this is for a lot of people.
Ooh.
She can't use any magic above the first sphere right now, otherwise
What
the
is that?
backlash won't fade.
That's a dish I asked from back home. There's chicken, carrot, sweet potato, yam, red onion, and all that is cooked in in coconut milk. Well, it's cooked in a
Oh yeah, it would be. Where
in
we're at right now,
a
nothing is considered vulgar.
big banana leaf in coconut milk.
Mm.
We call it punya.
Looks tasty. He says as he's munching on his soggy bread.
Cassidy just shakes her head and goes back to her veggie burger.
Cassidy is a vegetarian.
And he'll shrug. Well, she's allowed to be wrong. He'll just smirk.
The glare that he gets, if looks could kill.
And
Isaac for his...
look at her. He'll look at her and just eat a piece of chicken.
Isaac, for his part, does not want to be the fourth wheel in this particular growing temporary coven of goddamn witches and warlocks. He's just going to go ahead and get out of his stool. Doesn't make no noise, doesn't make no goodbyes, just goes ahead and turns around with his hands in his hoodie
Cassidy
pockets
will wave
and
to him.
walks away. You get a backhand wave. A wave as he's departing, his hand goes up. You get the backhand wave.
And yeah, Jasper just waves his fork.
Bye, Isaac, and once again, thank you for your help.
You get a grumble and a groan as he leaves.
Damien finishes off the bread, downs the beer, and sort of decides.
So, before you go, I'm guessing no one that looks like me has been seen around town? Like me, except short hair? Like exactly like me, but short hair?
Not that I am aware of. And he's giving Jasper a good look as if trying to photograph him with his eyes. Mm-hmm. No, not yet, but I'll keep an eye out. Why? Is there an evil twin you're looking for, or what?
Could say that.
Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind. I was meaning that more as a joke. Shit. And Damien orders a good old Schweinsschnitzel with pomfret, salad, all the accoutrements, and a bit of sauerkraut on the side because he's fancying it.
And Cassidy is, drinking water as per usual. And is just kind of stirring it with some lemongrass.
So,
And yeah, sorry, you
so
go.
not only are you a vegetarian, you also do you only drink what? Do you not drink alcohol? Is it just only water?
Oh yeah, I forgot. She also seems to be a teetotalist.
Oh well, at least it's not just water.
Oh, she's really good at making tea. I have to say, her jasmine tea, blew me away. Seldom
She
had such good.
smiles a little bit.
No, you can't smile.
Yeah. So, planning to stay long in Dublin, or just planning for a quick, seeing the sights, or what are you up to, if I may be so bold?
I am not really sure yet. Stay for now.
Careful, you might get stuck. That's what happened to me. I was also just planning to be here for a week or two, and so already 3 months have passed.
Cassidy
He
kind of rubs
smiles.
Damien's back a little bit.
It's okay, but don't worry, I'm not expected back home for at least 9 more months. And thank you. He just nods to her with a smile. Definitely less stressed than he was at the beginning.
I have family here, so I should be fine. I can stay as long as I want.
Cool. Mind you, should you have any mates that need crashing, I might be able to at least vacate a couch in my bungalow. Should it be desperate.
And he'll nod. Well, you're handy. Any idea how long Chatty Cathy there is going to stay this way? He just smiles.
Cassidy just kind of puts her hands up in an I don't know gesture.
Well, Paradox is tricky, and sadly, actually, goodly, you could say, I have very little experience with it. But if
Well, this is
the
Cassidy's
professors
first, severe paradox backlash.
Mm-hmm.
She's had minor ones in the
But,
past, but this one
yeah.
was big.
But yeah, Damien actually produces a very old leather booklet that has got all kinds of occult symbols on it, and goes through. Where were we? Kapitel 10 paradox. And he sort of goes and looks. Cassidy. What? Oh! Wait a sec. Loss of speech or speech impediments. Oh dear. Middle to upper middle level of paradox. That could take a few weeks to wear off if I've diagnosed the severity correctly. And he closes the booklet again and puts it in his side pocket.
Well, whenever you get your voice back, we'll have to celebrate. Well, you'll try. Good luck celebrating drinking tea.
She kind of lifts her eyebrow to kind of just saying, if you need alcohol to be able to celebrate, you live a very sad existence.
Come on, mate. There are more things than alcohol that can make us jolly.
True.
And he gives Cassidy a knowing look and a wink.
She just kind of smiles a little bit at him. Kind of a thank you smile.
He nods because he's pretty sure that he got the message correctly.
So are things? Is the world always ending here in Dublin?
Cassidy just nods.
Apparently, yes.
Oh well, look at me. Apparently, I'm going to try and save the world. That, or I'm going to die in it, which, well, frankly, I don't plan to.
Yeah. I'll give you a free piece of advice. If you come across a guy called Lord Sideshow, try to keep your distance. The guy is bad news.
The look of just pure rage that comes over Cassidy's face at the mention of Sideshow is pretty intense.
Yeah, to clarify, he is the current head of the Akashic Brotherhood in Dublin. How the hell he even got there in the first place is beyond me, but he's a human trafficker. Georgie, that you met before, she's also an Akashic. Supposedly, he's supposed to actually be teaching her stuff, but the only thing he could be bothered with was messing with her mind. Huh, great mentor. That, and he also. Oh yeah, and I'll give you another free tip. If don't give Sideshow any objects that you are not happy having violently inserted into your body. To keep it simply, he ripped out my heart so that he could place an animatronic one in it. Mind you, the ticker is working, but I'm not very happy about that.
Okay, so he's a douche. To be fair, anyone that calls themselves Lord in this day and age is a fucking douche.
As far as I'm concerned, he's the bloody Okami of douches. That's Japanese and means god of the douches.
I'm not. So, what? Don't now know what to avoid or who to avoid. What and who is should I see though?
Beg your pardon? I think I didn't quite catch that.
So I'll say now I know what and who to avoid, but what should I try and see while I'm here?
The Museum of Dead Things is definitely worth a visit. The National Gallery, pretty cool. Recently, they had an edition of a lost, one of the old, exactly, a lost picture of Van Gogh that showed up and was donated. I had a look at it. It's pretty cool. The museums around here are pretty good as well.
I mean, until not. I mean, it's Van Gogh. Did good paint.
Yeah. A shame he had a tinnitus that drove him so mad that he cut off his ear. But tortured artists and all that.
Apparently so.
Thought I had it made as an archaeologist. Nice quiet life. The only thing I would have to contend with were some very old rubbish pits and the old grave, but well. Fate had other plans.
I guess so. To be fair, are you sure you'd be fine with just a quiet life till you die?
To be fair, with everything that is going on, I haven't really had proper time to properly meditate on the matter. It's basically either being dragged or being involved from one, for the lack of a better word, adventure to another. Once this is over, I really hope that, who knows, maybe I'll go camping. getting out of the city and some nice fresh air. Out in the wild. Yeah, I haven't done that in ages. Really should do that again. God, I miss the days that I was with the Boy Scouts.
You're with the Boy Scouts?
Yeah. Heck, I don't know what the British equivalent in rank was, but I know I had managed to get to the rank of an Eagle Scout if I would have been an American.
I shall nod. I don't really have them back in New Caledonia. But we kind of live. I mean, it's not really a big place, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, traveling as part of my job for the moment was definitely pretty sweet. Seeing other places, experiencing other cultures. I always felt refreshed after I managed to get to a new place and experience some things. Well, I guess the old hunter-gatherer in me is is still alive and well and kicking.
And I'm sure, doing all the magic thing, it makes you a better hunter and gatherer.
More in this. Well, I myself. Well, less of that. Obviously, I'm not like some coy bushman or anything like that, but it's only relatively recently that we humans started living in, properly sedentary. For most of our existence, we were nomads. That was part of our nature.
That we were.
But then we had to get ourselves boxed in with agriculture. That's the downside. You have a surplus, you have more kids, and then suddenly you can't just uproot and leave after 1 or 2 generations because people would starve. And we've and a lot of other things, of course, but we've ended up with the civilization you see around us. For the good and definitely the ill.
Hell not.
There's just too much stuff. Doesn't matter. I'm rambling. Sorry. I have a bad habit of doing that.
I mean, she's not gonna talk. No offense.
Just this look of irritation crosses her face as he says that.
I said no offense. I'm sorry. It's just true, isn't it?
Damien will put his hand on Cassidy's shoulder and said, "Cassidy, if you're okay with that, I'll try to read your surface thoughts if you want to. Just give me a nod or a shake."
She shakes her head. She's
okay.
Fine with not talking at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Not today. Yeah. And Damien finishes off his food. Yes. This bar belongs to D'Onofrio, head, I think, of the local Hermetic Order. Yeah, another free tip. Don't say that the Hermetics are either boring or like Harry Potter or Hogwarts. She definitely doesn't like those two things. And she might just put you into a... have you ever played the game Portal?
Yes.
Think her being able to summon portals, throw you through one, and you ending up in a continuous loop, and then you chundering, and your chunder and you being then even increased in speed. I've seen it happen to Douglas. It's nasty.
Okay, so what did you say her name was?
D'Onofrio.
Okay, so he'll actually take out a notebook The Notrie
d-
does not like the truth being told to her face.
Yeah.
She actually writes that and says this.
Yeah. Damien actually produces another notebook without any esoteric symbols on them, and simply points to the name and said, "That's how you write it." Just in case.
Okay, and he'll look. Yeah.
And then he closes and puts it back under the other arm.
If nobody
So,
else has anything, this is probably a good place to leave off.
yeah,
We're,
good
we're,
point.
we're
I
pushing.
have nothing.
We're pushing like 2.5 hours at this point, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
I have nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene for Darkness in Dublin. See you next time.